Okay, fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and today we have another farming video. Especially with all the recent changes, you can now get extremely expensive to normally craft or farm ammo relatively easily. There are some side effects of those changes, that some perk that used to be really good doesn't really do anything now, or barely anything, and perk I'm talking about, you probably know, it's a Scrounger. So that's a perk under luck that normally was greatly boosting ammo from the containers. Not anymore. It has a chance to give you like 1 extra fuel or something like that. Barely any difference. I decided that it's not even worth to have it equipped for the most part. So at this moment I don't have it equipped. And yes, we'll be using the ammo container in this method, and there are some reasons to that. For example, you can relatively easily craft ammo for Gatling plasma, which are Ultracite plasma cores. Although those do cost fluxes, so if you are new to the game, it's not so easy. And currently, if you craft them, they can only be 100 charge and never more. Like I have some here, those are crafted ones, 100% charge, but there is a method with ammo containers and you have a chance to get overcharge plasma core. Unfortunately, not every ammo container will drop it. Most of them will probably be empty when you inspect. Like I have this weapon equipped. If I inspect some other ammo container, it will show gunpowder or empty. The good news is, if I do not touch any button, if I do not interact with ammo container, I can hop the server and check all the ammo containers again, and maybe they will spawn some Ultracite overcharge core. Unfortunately, if you are looking for fusion cores, there is good and bad news. Ultracite fusion cores will drop, but for some reason they will drop a 70% charge, always. Never full charge, never overcharge, so I do not recommend it for this weapon. But then there are some weapons like Boomstick. If you need Messiah, those are extremely expensive to craft and hard to farm with any other method. This is like the only method to farm it. But this method is good for any weapon. Let's say you grab a new weapon, you need a bunch of ammo, you can do ammo container method. And I have a path for you as well. I will try to walk slowly, so I will show you exactly how to get a lot of ammo container real fast. To save on fast travel cost, I would recommend to start from Vault 76, as fast travel is free. I will be using first person view, as I think it's the easiest to follow my steps. So we are turning right, and I already killed all those enemies in here. Oh, not all. Okay, I hear one. But I killed almost all the enemies, so I will not be fighting. I will only show you where to go. So first, inside that, and this duffel bag is ammo container actually. Then there is ammo box in here. They usually drop 1, sometimes more, Messiah. And I think in case of Messiah launcher, because the quantities are so small, it can be beneficial to use the perk like Scrounger. In case of other weapons, I will show you in a moment, like Flamer, it's not really needed, but this one, I can use it. Yeah, there's, I don't know, it was without perk, that's just 2 without perk. Then there is one more container. If we go back in here, you can already see it in there. And unfortunately empty. It can happen. If empty, you don't interact, and then one more on the track. So that's like a bunch of containers. Here. And only one. As you can see, I equipped the perk. I don't think it's helping at all. That's what I was talking about, but I have it. A lumber mill. Let's see, 17 caps. And I have no idea if it's intended for this perk to work so badly now, but it is how it is. And yeah, Marsupial is really recommended to traverse this area much faster. We are running basically straight from spawn point. And it triggered, but I have 2. Did it really add 1? Or it would be always 2? I cannot really tell. It's not really possible to tell. Then we go into this container. And it triggered, it's 2. Is it more than I would get naturally? I don't know. We go in here behind the bed. Empty, unfortunately. So leave it alone. We go next to this supply machine. This one is locked. There is 4, so maybe sometimes it works. Okay, let's try to unequip. Can I get 4? 2 or 4 without the scrounger? We'll see. Now we need to climb over here. If you have Marsupial, it will be easier. If you don't, there is staircase from other side. I didn't even took a jetpack, and unfortunately empty. It can happen that they will be empty. I will grab the magazine though. Now the next location we travel to, and if you really want to save on caps, you could use free fast travel to White Spring. I always have so much caps, so I don't need to bother. I go directly to Emmett Mountain disposal sign. So you could save 50 caps if you fast travel to White Spring for free and then here. And we are running straight. The first container will be inside this building and more where the radiation rumble normally triggers. Unfortunately empty. So we run inside. That's the area where radiation rumble is occurring. Disposal site. We turn to the left. There are 2 containers. There's 2 missile in this one. 1 missile in this one. Then we run across, and here is 1 more. This one empty, but I will grab covert operation manual from the desk. And if radiation rumble was triggered, but only if you run down there, there will be 4 more ammo containers. But if radiation rumble was not triggered, those ammo containers are not here. So that should be 2 over there, 1 here, and 1 over there. They're not because there was no radiation rumble. So that's odd, but those are conditional containers, I will say. Sometimes they will be here, sometimes they will not. Then we have new location, Middle Mountain Pit Stop. A lot of those locations do not have any enemies, so that's a huge plus. This way there is container. And I will swap a weapon to something else in a moment. Unfortunately, no missile. So maybe Scrounger is helping a little bit in case of missile ammo. There are 2. This one empty. And there's 1 more on the roof. There, and 1. Okay, now we change the weapon to the Holy Fire. So we'll be gathering some fuel. And you will see that in case of Holy Fire, Scrounger matters real little. So we are starting without the Scrounger. That's bonus experiment as we go over it. And then I equip the Scrounger. So Cutthroat Camp, it's the next spot. And in this area, normally you will encounter enemies. But those are weak and there's like 10 containers concentrated. First one will be on the right. And unfortunately empty. I'm not sure if I didn't loot at it before. Maybe I looted those, so I will just show you where those are. Oh, this wasn't looted. 53, that's no perk. And 1 more is over there. Inside this car, 56. So as you can already probably notice, it's very consistent amount. Now we are moving over there. So on the map, that's Pleasant Valley Ski Resort. I just do not fast travel as this is so close that fast traveling there or just running in there about the same time. So I decide, yeah, just run in there. Now, if you have Marsupial, so you can jump in here. If not, you will need to use the main entrance. Okay, so I managed to jump in. There's the first container. No fuel, only gunpowder. The other container is on other side. And you can already see it. There's 47 fuel. So usually around 50 fuel. If I equip Scrounger now, Scrounger equipped. We're running around over here. We need to climb up. Those containers like to be on those towers. And there is one. 54, so about the same. Then we jump across. There is one more container. 57, so it triggers. How much more is it? Like 5 maybe? 10% extra? It's really not too much. Then we go over in here, behind this rooftop. Here's another container, 54 fuel. Running around, there is one more, and yes, I know it looks like a duffel bag. It is ammo container. 60 fuel, and this time perk didn't even trigger. So I'm not sure if the Scrounger is helping or not. And as you can see, this quick path, at the end, I choose the flamer. I don't know what was started with, like 600-700 fuel. But generally, on this path, you have about 30 ammo container. You can do it in less than 10 minutes. If every single one give you 50 fuel, multiply 50 by 30, you have 1500 fuel in under 10 minutes if you need it for your flamer. Or you will have about 60, I think, missile. Hard to tell exactly. I was gathering some. I started with none, and now I have 20, and I did it only at some of the containers. So I think probably 60 missile. Do you need the perk? It doesn't hurt you if you equip it, if you already have it. If you don't have it, I would say no. About the Gatling plasma, you will get 3 to 4 overcharge Ultracite plasma cores, but you can repeat it every time you play, and you will have plenty of overcharge plasma cores without spending any fluxes. I think at this moment it's the best method. You don't need to go into expedition, you don't need to get a team for daily op, you don't really need to shoot anything, so you have no expenses in ammo. You just purely gather ammo, which is really cool. And you will get those overcharge cores if you need them. And doesn't matter what level you are, you can start doing that. And that being said, I hope you enjoy this farming method. Let me know if you are going to try it and if your weapon works with it. There are some exceptions. I will tell you one. For example, Nuka Quantum ammo cannot be obtained through this method. But mini nukes can. You can have mini nukes, but there is only a chance for mini nuke. It's not guaranteed. Similar to overcharge cores. I hope to see you in the next video really soon.